Not really happy.
Okay.
But what happened, Mom?
What?
What happened? What's been going on?
A lot. It's been crazy galore.
How so? Can you further
I'm
explain?
just eating something.
So basically, it was supposed to be me, Johan, Mom, Dad, and Amy, Johan's girlfriend. And basically, I was with Amy and Johan in New York, JFK, going to Paris, which is where we are right now. But the thing is, while we were in the lounge, the Sky Lounge, the three of us realized the news on the screen.
Right? There was a news
yeah.
flash.
And
apparently.
it said, without subtitles, because they didn't have subtitles on that lounge, it just said in a little subtitle saying Trump bans travel from EU to US, and I was like,
and they were heading, and we're heading here, so they were waiting for their flight to board, and so everyone kind of panicked. Apparently, at that time we were actually en route to Paris via SFO, and so we were okay. I mean, we didn't hear anything about it because we were up there in the air, you know, like minding our own business.
Yeah, basically. So we when we saw that, we went to the internet and did our research, and it turned out he was just gonna ban, you know, travel from Europe to US starting Friday, which is crazy because
well you gotta tell them also what happened, because when you guys were in line to get into your plane, people actually had left. I mean, decided right there and then that they weren't gonna board because of this travel ban.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't have much information on it. We just assumed that he was just banning, that we were just gonna be stuck for 30 days abroad.
So people actually were scared, and they didn't, you know, they didn't want to be quarantined for 30 days. And
there's
so
more than half of the flight, actually,
including my son,
Johan and Amy. So I was the one that said, since my classes are already online, might as well just go, because I needed to meet up with them just to, you know, let them know what happened and everything. So I'm here. We're all three of us is here. We still don't know what's going on.
But you have to mention to them that, well, at least our flight from SFO to here, on the plane, it wasn't really that bad. I mean, none of the crew members were wearing any protective gears. I mean, they were working like it's regular, right? Yeah, and then I was actually surprised that there were a whole bunch of kids on our flight. Yeah. In fact, it was kind of hard to sleep because they kept crying, you know, because of the turbulence and whatnot. I mean, granted, it wasn't as full as it would be normally, I think, because of course, I mean, it's affected. However, I was surprised with the amount of people that was still traveling and without masks. So we initially traveled with our mask on, but because people around us were not wearing it, we felt kind of like, you know, even the captain and the stewardess,
no one was wearing masks.
They were not wearing anything. So we figured, okay, well, we don't want to. All we did was we made sure that our seats were well wiped with Clorox wipes. Really, I did double time on the seat tray thing, and then any knobs. I
didn't even use a seat tray, so
well, I did, but I made sure that I scrubbed it, and then I didn't put anything in the seat pockets because I know those things that doesn't ever get clean. Okay, and even the monitor, I scrubbed those. I mean, we had 3 because we didn't have anyone seated in the middle of us. So I cleaned all 3 of those, and then this, you know, where you put your armrest, I cleaned all those, any knobs. And I mean, even around me, I felt like I was a lunatic because no one was doing that.
No one really cared.
So I was like, oh my God, am I doing, you know, but anyway, that was our experience. What about you?
So basically,
Coming from JFK,
it was crazy. So basically, a lot of us Americans were on the flight. Well, like there was a bunch of us on the flight, and once the news broke out, me and Johan and Amy ran to our gate just to see what was going on. And basically it was just a bunch of us Americans trying to figure out what we're gonna do, and how the people who checked in their bags, like how they could get it back. So basically this lady, one of the ladies already determined, like, okay, I'm not gonna go, I just want my bags. So the front desk at the gate, the gate person said, go to you have to exit out, like past security, go to the main front desk where you check in, and tell them that you want your bags. So she was gonna try to go, well, she did what they said to do, and basically the security said, no, you can't go out, you have to go and tell the gate person. So she went back and forth, and eventually through the chaos, she was like, people were able to get their bags. But then it was
very chaotic.
It was very chaotic. Everyone was like panicking. There was this one French student, like she's a French person, but she is here until August because of school.
JFK, you mean?
Yeah,
right?
JFK. She's from France. So she was crying on the phone. She couldn't stop crying. We asked her what was going on. She said that since the ban, she won't be able to get in because
she doesn't live there.
Yeah, she's not a resident.
She's not a permanent resident.
Yeah.
and whatnot.
She's just a student, like studying abroad. So that ruined her plans to meet her family, I guess. But it was a lot of Americans, mainly Americans, not going back.
It was
like
very chaotic.
Yeah, not boarding. So I was one of the only Americans on the flight, and the flight was really, really, really empty. Like there were many people changing seats and then like having their whole row to themselves and laying down. There was a lot of that. Like, and then there was a couple very obnoxious Americans, no offense, like the typical, very loud, rambunctious people, and they were in front of me. They didn't know what was going on. See, no one knew anything because the TV screens in the terminal, they weren't like playing.
Captions, yeah.
No, they weren't even playing it.
Oh, they weren't.
They weren't playing the news. It was just black, nothing playing on the screen. So it was like no one sitting in the gates knows that there's this ban going on unless they're actually like on their phone.
When we left, it was fine. When we left SFO, it was fine.
Yeah, me and Johan and Amy only knew because of the lounge. We only knew that because whatchamacallit, it was playing because, I don't know.
You were watching it.
We were watching it, yeah. But still, it was just not a thing.
And then, so wait, I gotta tell them about.
Oh wait, and so Johan and Amy, since Amy's a she's a permanent resident of the U.S., but she has a Chinese passport. She doesn't have a American passport, so she had to stay behind because she didn't want to risk being banned. Risk the 30 days, basically, not being able to come back into the U.S. Sorry, I know you're sleeping.
Right, give us a so my husband's really tired because we had an ordeal.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there was so much going on.
So much drama. So anyways,
besides
getting here. So once we got to CDG, of course we came from a different flight.
Oh, shit.
She came from a different flight. We got here like maybe half an hour earlier, correct?
Yeah,
right? Maybe
40 minutes.
40 minutes earlier. And so there was no problem. I mean, of course the line was so short because there was not a lot of us, but there were, travelers. Again, saw a lot of kids, with us, and all they did was look at our passports, stamped it, and then we were out there.
We didn't even need a custom sheet.
No, nothing. We were just we were out as soon as we got to the customs. There were I was looking at everyone. No one was wearing gloves. Everybody were just going about their business. So I'm like, I don't know. back in the US, I was you know, I was watching the news. It's like the Louvre was closed down and this it was the, I mean, I didn't see all that. And then after that, when we met up with my daughter, we ended up going to, you know, walk around, and we noticed that no one's actually panicking here. I mean, the locals are just going about their business. I'm not seeing a lot of, I mean, I haven't seen one person yet wearing a mask. If I actually did, and it looked like they were a tourist, because they, I don't know. But anyway, it's not, I've not heard anyone
but besides that
speak about coronavirus or anything like that.
So basically in Paris, it's kind of like New York, where not a lot of people wear masks, but only a few people do. But on the subway, the metros here in Paris, no one's wearing anything, no protection, no gloves. But
and that would actually be a dead giveaway that probably you're a tourist, right? And so speaking of that, we did have a couple of situations. And so maybe because also of lack of tourists, that the pickpocketers are actually getting very aggressive and very bold. Oh my God! I mean, twice, 2 trains in a row, we accosted a couple of pickpocketers.
So basically, we were on line 8, going towards Ballard or something, I forget. But we were on line 8, and we had our luggages here, and then our backpacks. We were not bringing like
a lot. We didn't bring a lot.
We just had a luggage, 1 small suitcase and a backpack, and that was it. But then we were the only ones on that train with that, and we were also the only Asians.
I hate to say it. We stood out like a sore thumb.
We stood out because we had our bags, and we didn't look like the rest, the demographic inside that train, basically. And so before, like, while we were waiting for the train, I noticed there's this really suspicious guy. He looked suspicious from the get-go. So I just kept my eye on him, right? And he did this sort of thing, like a little nod
there was something going on
to this one person that was like over there, and I was like, and this was right outside the train. So I would basically, what is it called? So I basically let them board first,
which they did.
And they were very like up in your face.
Yeah, right. Because when you went in first, and then I actually went behind her. When I went behind her, he was literally blocking me. I went to the right, he was blocking. There was one guy blocking me when I went to the right, and when I went to the left, he wouldn't let me go behind him. And so I was like quick to the draw when I faked it. I went to the right again, and I went to the left, and I went around him.
Ooh.
And so there you go. Up yours.
Yeah, exactly. And so my father here, yes, him, the one that's sleeping, he basically got caught in that little triangle that they had. So he was standing in the middle, and then one here, and then one here. So it was like a triangle. I knew he wasn't the only one. I knew there was 3 people, because it was really sketchy. These pickpocketers like to gang up on one person only. They can't handle just, you know, a couple people because they're weak or whatever. But so what I saw was this one skinny tall guy. He was reaching into my dad's pocket, and I quickly grabbed his jacket pocket, and it was clearly right in front of me. Like, I could actually see him right here. His hand was right here, and I basically grabbed his hand with my nails. I didn't cut him, and then I like tossed it, and I said arrête, like stop, in French. And then everyone looked at us because I yelled to say, you know, and then I said arrête, laissez-moi tranquille, and then he kept on saying tranquille. Like, bro, no, you tranquille. Like, what the hell? You're the one reaching into my dad's pocket. Like, excuse you. But what she also stopped a guy too. Right.
And then at the same time, I saw the other guy reaching into his jacket pocket. And I was like, oh, hell no. So you know what I did? I slapped
the shit at it.
Yeah, I slapped his hand. I did some kung fu.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so they were all like shocked.
She was doing that while he was trying to protect himself, my dad himself, from them trying to steal his wallet in front of him.
And they were trying to actually grab his backpack as well.
Yeah, before the train stopped, when the train stopped, they were trying to grab it, like trying to run out with it. But my dad is strong. He got a cut, but you know what? We didn't lose anything.
And I slapped the shit out of the S out of the guy's
Don't be
hand,
sorry.
Right? And then no, because I don't want to get censored.
Oh, whatever.
And
whatever.
You did your cutting too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I cut, I chipped a nail because I cut him. Like, I grabbed him with my nails and I like...
Okay, but that wasn't the worst part of it all. So we got rid of those two. And so from there, we had to take another train to get to our hotel. So,
oh no, that was on the 4. Now we're on the 8.
Yeah.
8 lines. So we
had to transfer.
Yeah, but they weren't there immediately.
Right.
So they got on a stop, like a couple stops after we got on, right? And
a different group of people.
Yeah, before they even came on, my mom was basically like doing something to my dad's bag so that they're not easily, like, someone won't be able to like get in easily. And so good thing she did that, because not too later after that, there were other people that was trying to steal from us.
Yeah.
So
they were trying to get into his backpack, and little did they know, I mean, I actually, because of what happened prior to this train, I actually kind of made sure that nobody can just really access it.
Yeah.
So I kind of twisted everything there.
Twisted, yeah.
And then, so I had my purse right in front of me, like really close to me. This two tandem people, like, the guy came behind me and kind of like pushed me that way, and then the girl was kind of like opening my purse.
Yeah, which was odd because yes, they were close to her, but it was odd because there was a lot of space in the subway, like in the car. Like, it wasn't crowded at all. There was some space behind me, even there was space over there or something. So it was kind of weird that they were all like clustered into one. So I found that a little bit odd too, but I didn't realize that they were
trying to get into my purse. The lady was. Yeah. So what I did, and what a shame, because that lady, if you look at her, she's like, young. Yeah, she was young. She looked like she can hold a good job here. Guess, you know, this is a much easier job to steal from people. Hardworking people, right? Hardworking. So when I saw her, well, I moved, and then I realized, wait a minute, she had opened my purse, and so I made a commotion. I said, hey, why did you do that for?
And meanwhile,
you said something.
I don't know, I think, was it you? I don't know. But the guy, her acquaintance, basically took off his jacket, like his puffer jacket, which was odd. I was like, but okay, I guess it's hot. But then, you know how they they put it on one arm and then they reach for your phone or whatever with your other hand? That's basically what he did. And I knew that was a tactic because I watched videos on it, basically. So I slapped his hand again. Yeah. And I said, arrête. Again, like I said, stop. I see your hand. I know. I see it. And then she basically made a commotion too, which is good. But
and I pointed to the girl. I said, you, of course, that was the frustrating part, was that I couldn't
language barrier.
Yeah, I couldn't speak in French. I was able to look up before that what it was. It's like velour or some voilier or something. So anyways, whatever it was, I think they understood that they were thieves, right? So the girl could not like really look at me in my eyes, right? Because I was like, you were trying to steal from me. And she was just looking at like down, up and down, like she was embarrassed, right? I said, yeah, you have a thick face, right? I said, because, you know, you're stealing from people. And she was like, no. And the guy was saying, oh, you speak English.
Yeah, stupid. But no, overall, in general, we were able to finesse the finessers, basically.
So I think the takeaway from this is that, okay, I think for me, the takeaway is, yes, coronavirus is real, but I think between coronavirus and pickpocketers right now, I think I'm more scared of the pickpocketers here, because they are running rampant, because since there are not a lot of victims around, so they're being very, very vulgar, you know, like aggressive. I mean, in front of so many people, they're just doing it. So that's, I think it's.
But then again, it's been a thing. Like, everyone knows that Europe has a lot of pickpocketers too.
Yeah.
But this coronavirus, it doesn't seem like people here in France right now is taking it as seriously.
Maybe you should pan outside and show like
there's no one out.
Yeah, no, but just show like how the streets are like.
I mean, it looks like a regular street.
Yeah. Just just kind of show like how, just show that where we're at.